When I was a teenager, I was a sexless, kissless version. If only I knew what I knew now about attraction, my dating and social life would have been completely different. Unfortunately, I don't have a time machine, but I do have a camera. So if you're a young man, maybe you're a teenager right now, take these attraction hacks and actually apply them to your life. And if you're an older guy like me, then probably you can relate to this too. Now you probably clicked this video thinking I'm gonna tell you everything physical. Oh, I should have had my hairstyle this way, I should have dressed this way. And yes, physicality is important when it comes to attraction, but more so in our teenage years, the social aspect of stuff I believe plays a very, very important part. And if you're anything like me, back when I was in high school, teenager, I was what they called a wallflower. I wasn't very involved in social activities. I didn't have a lot of friends. I never partied, right? I never had any of those experiences because I just was not that social of a person. In fact, I was even afraid to raise my hand in most classes even when I knew I had the right answer. So if I could go back in time and tell myself to just be more involved socially as a teenager, especially in school, in different events and communities, then I believe that would have made a big difference in regards to my attraction, because that affects your ability to make connections with people, which then affects your ability to meet women. Think about it, right? The people who had the most connections with people and the most attention was usually the person who was the most social, whether they were involved in communities and groups, maybe they were even the class clown. Point is, they never sat in the back of the class and never spoke up, right? That's something that I did, and looking back on it, it has definitely affected a lot of things about myself. I mean, if I can go back in time, that's one of the biggest things I would tell myself, is just to simply just be more involved socially and don't be afraid to speak your mind. Now, throughout that time, perhaps one of the biggest reasons why I wasn't that social was because I had a lack of confidence. It wasn't only because I was underweight and super skinny, which played a big factor into that, but also this was a time period where my skin and my acne was absolutely horrible. Guys, I'm not sure if you see my skin now, but it has made a huge improvement. I'm telling you, back when I was like 14 to 18 years old, my skin had constant cystic acne, not even just normal red bumps, but like deep embedded bumps in my face that would take literally probably 3 months to go away. Then from there, I would always pop it and try to get rid of them super fast. I had no idea about skincare at that point in time too. So not only would I tell myself back in the day to be proactive against my acne, funny enough, I think Proactive was out at the time. But number two, I would tell myself to not pop those pimples, because those pimples actually led and became acne scars throughout time, in which I've paid thousands, I'm not even kidding, thousands of dollars to improve over this point in time through laser treatments, chemical pills, through the fat graft procedure I got a few months ago, which I made a whole video on too. So if you're a guy with acne right now, my biggest advice is to never pop your pimples. And if you're a guy with acne right now who's not being proactive against more acne in the future, or definitely not having a skincare routine, then one thing I wish I had back in the day was definitely Teej Hanley. All right guys, Teej Hanley is a sponsor of this video, and I'm proud to say that because I've been using them for the past 4 years, and it has been an integral part of my skincare system. Even though my skin right now doesn't have acne flares like it used to back when I was a teenager, I'm still super proactive, more so now, against aging, and having a skincare routine is a part of that. So with the Teej Hanley system, it does come in different levels. My personal favorite is level 3. With that, you're gonna get the cleanser, super serum, AM, PM moisturizers, alongside with some eye serum to avoid those fine lines and wrinkles. Now, everything within the Teej system is purposely placed in there so that you can be proactive against acne and then also aging. For example, the AM moisturizer has SPF in it, so whenever you go out in the sun, it helps protect your skins against the UV rays. Now, if you do have more other problems with acne, think of body acne, or maybe even just a lot of acne on your face, they also do have acne systems for that are affordable and easy to use. Teej Hanley has been the #1 men's skincare system for a while now, and you can definitely see why. So if you click the link down below, you're gonna get your first box of Teej Hanley for 30% off alongside with a free gift, guys. All right, go check them out. I promise you it's gonna make a big difference in regards to your attraction. Now, I did mention that I was more of a skinny guy, right? I was about 5'7" at the time, had to been about 106 pounds. I vividly remember that my own twin sister was bigger than me, right? She weighed probably like 115, 120, and I was like 105 pounds, right? And I was constantly picked on for my size, being skinny, and that's where I discovered the art of working out and fitness, because I'm like, why is everybody else with muscle muscles? Why is everybody else just bigger than me? But at the time, I didn't realize how bad my diet habits were. But if I can go back in time, I would definitely have told myself to just bulk up faster. Like do it a little bit sooner. I would have done it freshman year of high school, and I would have not waited until freshman year of college, in which that's when I decided to actually start taking it seriously. Not only is this good for attraction, because definitely throughout that time period when you're a teenager, from what I've noticed is that the guys with muscles, the athletes, the bigger guys just tend to overall get more attention from women, right? It just makes sense. Most girls don't want either extreme. So a guy who's like extremely skinny, like I was, or definitely not a guy who's just really overweight, right? You gotta find a perfect medium. And if I would have found that perfect medium a little bit sooner, it would have made a world of the difference. Not only through my attraction, but whenever you're in that growing stage of puberty, in which I hit puberty super late. I probably hit puberty when I was like 16. I didn't have hair underneath my arms until I was 17 years old. I'm not even joking, guys. But if I would have fed my body those extra calories throughout that time period, I believe that would have had a positive effect on my growth, my height, my bones, my testosterone, my human growth hormone, everything, especially if I was eating more calories and also sleeping well alongside with that. But no, what was I doing? I was playing video games all day. I was eating chips. I was literally eating carbs all day. I didn't have any idea what protein or what fat was. I would just eat carbs all day because I saw food as food. But the point is, I just needed to bulk up sooner, and I wish I would have understood and done that when I was a teenager. But I guess it's never too late. That's why I'm doing it right now in my late 20s. Also, back when I was a teenager, social media was kind of getting popular. We didn't have any of these, platforms to where self-improvement content is just being shoved down our throat constantly 24/7, right? And looking back at my timeline, since I was a teenager, I would say in regards to the self-improvement aspect of stuff, I've done a lot of stuff right? I'm not gonna lie and say that I haven't. If I had to give the advice to anybody who's a teenager to increase their attraction, not necessarily right now, but in the future, is to essentially just start self-improvement as fast and as early as possible. For me, and how I went about this at the time when I was a teenager, was the fact that I was so curious on so many different subjects that just so happened to improve my life, right? Gaining curiosity on fitness and how that affects me, and which then I started creating content about, which then created a business, which then led me to 6 figures, right? Another one, my curiosity on dating and relationships, but that was brought upon through the fact that I wasn't seeing results with women. So I was like, why are people seeing results with women? Which made me seek out information, which led me to confidence, social skills, which led me to more information on understanding women, which at the point in time is still an aspect of self-improvement, right? Getting better with women, making yourself more attractive, even you watching this video, it's all aspects of self-improvement because you're trying to get better. But one thing that I definitely did right, and that I want you guys to do too, was actually act and implement the concepts that you are learning as early and as fast as possible. And that's because whenever you're a teenager, you have a lot of time and a lot of room to mess up. It's not like if you make a bad decision, oh, your life's over, you get all these variables affecting it. No, you can mess up, you can restart, you can try this, you can try that. There's a lot of trial and error that can happen because more than likely you're not paying your own bills, right? You're living on with your parents. More than likely you have no kids, you have no family, you just have no obligations except for to just pass school. And then with the financial side of things, now not only do you want to start understanding some knowledge that will improve your life and implement those concepts, but definitely get as financially literate as possible even from that young of an age. Most teenagers manage their money absolutely horribly, but imagine if you would have started investing and saving when you were 15, 16, 17 years old. If I would have started investing when I was 15 years old, even off the little bit of money that I was making from a part-time job or whatever, I would be in a much better position than I am now. It's just the way it is. So start learning, improving, and implementing fast, because that's gonna make your attraction as a person, as a whole total person, think of sexual market value sort of comparison, is going to be a lot higher than what it would be if you did not. And last thing, guys, you got to understand that as a teenager, a lot of women aren't going to be attracted to you. You're going to be in a point where you'll notice the older guys are getting a lot of the results with women. Maybe the older guys just tend to just look better too, because I have mentioned before that as a teenager, you have to grow into your looks. Me trying to really improve my looks as a teenager, I could have done the bare minimums, right? Get my body right, maybe improve my style, haircut, all that stuff. But it still would have taken time for me to actually grow into my looks. And I get this story all the time with me being a late bloomer, is that I didn't start looking like myself, how I look now, until I was around 24 years old, right? So me trying to improve my looks when I was 16, 15, I still would have gotten slowly better over time as long as I would have kept those healthy habits. So overall, understand that your time will come, and if you delay gratification in your teenage years, you're just gonna be that much better off whenever you're 24, 25, 26, and 27. So don't forget to check out T-Chan link down below. And I do know that modern day teenagers have a big representation online because of the rise of social media. That's why I created this video teaching you guys how to pose and actually look more attractive in photos. Be sure to watch that one next.